In this video, we will show you how to replace your transmission mount on this Jeep Grand Cherokee. This will be located under your vehicle mounted to your transmission. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. You're going to have to safely make your way under the vehicle. In the center of the vehicle, you're going to find your transfer case, you're going to find your transmission, and you're going to find the transmission mount. To start removing this, there's several things that we have to remove first. Let's make our way towards the passenger side. We're going to remove this little cross member. It's held in place with two 16mm headed mounting bolts. We'll remove the pair and the cross member. Inspect your mounting hardware as you continue. Replace it as necessary. We'll make sure we're holding onto that cross member. Remove the bolt and the cross member. Let's make our way over to the other side now. We'll start removing this. This is held in place with four 16mm headed mounting bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's move along to removing our plastic panel. This is held in place with four 13mm headed mounting bolts. You'll have one towards the rear, moving forward on the driver's side, and then up along the front, you'll have two more. Let's start removing all of these. A quick note about these shields, it's pretty common to have a lot of debris up along the top. Just watch your eyes for the removal process. We'll hold this up. And remove it from the vehicle. Continuing from here, let's apply support underneath our transfer case. We don't need very much pressure here. While applying support in that area, we can start removing our cross member. I'm going to leave the center nuts in place and start along each side of the cross member. You're going to find that you have 6 mounting bolts, 3 on each side, and use a 16mm to remove these. Same process on the other side of the vehicle. Let's make our way towards the center. When removing these two 15mm mounting nuts, just keep in mind, it's the last thing holding up the cross member. You don't want it to fall down and potentially hurt you. Just gonna leave that nut on there a couple threads here. Just hold on to that cross member while we fully remove this final one. Set this aside. Now we can start dismounting the transmission mount from the transmission. This is held in place with four 13mm headed mounting bolts. For our final bolt, I'll make sure I'm holding on to it. And now you can remove that from the vehicle. There it is, friend. Continuing from here, let's clean the mounting area. I'll be using a wire brush for this. We'll make sure we give this a thorough inspection. Okay, friend, it's time for installation of our brand new transmission mount. When installing this, you want to make sure you have it in the proper orientation. One side of the transmission mount will have the two ears, and those will be on the forward side of this. We'll get this in place. Start in all four of our 13mm headed mounting bolts, snug them up, and then I'm going to torque these to 20 foot-pounds. Now we can move from the mount. We're going to start reinstalling the crossmember, but before we do, you need to inspect both sides on the body where the crossmember mounting bolts will go. We'll give it a quick wipe, a close inspection to make sure all of the mounting ports for the mounting bolts are clean and free of any debris. Do this on both sides. After inspecting those areas, we can start installing the crossmember. When we bring this in position, let's start with those 2 center mounting nuts. Now we're not going to tighten these yet because you can still move this plate around as needed, so you can continue on aligning your mounting bolts along each side of the crossmember. That's one side. We'll repeat the process on the other side. Now that they're all started in, we can bottom out all 6 of these mounting bolts. The torque for these is 45 foot-pounds. They're snug, let's torque them. At this point, we'll remove support from underneath our transfer case and tighten those 2 nuts. The torque for those will be 20 foot-pounds. Let's move just forward to this area. We can reinstall our shield that comes across this. This is held in place with 4 mounting bolts. Something else to pay attention to on the shield itself, we will have this tab that will slide over your crossmember in this area. Let's install our front mounting bolts now. These are the longer 2 out of the 4. Let's go ahead and start them in. They're all started in. Let's snug them up. Double check, make sure your shield is completely secured. Now it's time for our side brackets. Now we can start in all 4 of these mounting bolts. Once you have them started in, snug them up. I'm going to torque these to 41 foot-pounds. All right, let's snug them up. Now let's make our way over for the other cross brace. Once it's in place, go ahead and start in the mounting bolts, snug them up, torque those to 41 foot-pounds as well. Okay, friend, we finished the installation of our transmission mount. At this point, you want to make your way out from under the vehicle. Take your vehicle for a road test and listen for any odd noises. Aside from that, thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.